now would like to invite our second speaker, Dr. Phanikanta Mishra, sir. It is a matter of great honor and privilege to introduce Dr. Phanikanta Mishra, a distinguished archaeologist, heritage conservationist, and eminent scholar of Indian art, culture, and archaeology. With over 4 decades of remarkable service in the Archaeological Survey of India, he has made extraordinary contributions in the field of archaeological exploration, excavation, conservation, and museum development. Dr. Mishra has played a pioneering role in the conservation and development of globally renowned heritage sites, including Khajuraho, Sanchi, Nalanda, Konark, and Bodh Gaya. A prolific author and researcher, he has published several acclaimed books and numerous scholarly papers on archaeology, architecture, and cultural heritage. His academic excellence and international engagements in countries like Germany, Japan, Thailand, and Afghanistan reflect his global recognition as a respected authority in heritage studies. We are truly fortunate to have such a learned, visionary, and inspiring personality among us today. Today, he is going to address us on the topic Archaeological Findings in Mithila. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Phanikanta Mishra, sir. Please share your valuable insights. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think I'm audible.
Yes, if you could
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
something
Good
for your
morning, sir.
background, that would be better because right now we can't see you very clearly.
You want to see me?
Of course.
Okay. Professor
Yeah,
Jha has seen.
You're against the light actually. So if you
Yeah. I'm
you
trying.
without light.
I'm trying. Okay. Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Your direction has to be changed. So basically,
Is it okay?
no, but we'll continue maybe with whatever we have.
Professor Jha, we are in Kolkata. We will meet each other and see each other very well. I think please excuse me if I am not seen.
Sure.
So let me start my topic. First of all, I'm so glad that this Mithila organization, international organization, has organized such a nice conference. It is the first conference. And Professor Rai, who has been kind enough to give me the stage to speak here with all of us. I've been talking at many of the stages all over the world, but to speak at this stage on this platform is really a moment of proud for me. I come to my topic, that is archaeology of Mithila. I am given a very short time to speak on this topic, archaeology of Mithila, I think hardly 40 minutes. But if I go on talking for 8 hours, 10 hours, it will not be completed. So I confined my lecture on a very small, broad area of archaeology in Mithila. I hope you will not mind. All of you will try to understand me, what I am going to tell you archaeologically. Archaeology is a pure science. We cannot say that this is like that, this is like that. Hypothetical analysis is not considered in archaeology. It is 2 plus 2 is 4. So I have included in this lecture from my side a brief of archaeology of Mithila, and in that nowadays the most important and very touching topic is the Balirajgarh excavation of Mithila. I hope all of you know about it, that Government of India has organized a very interesting excavation to find out the capital of Mithila, that is Videh, at Balirajgarh. Balirajgarh is in the North Bihar area, very close to Nepal, and their excavation is in progress. I am grateful to Government of India that they have appointed me as the observer for this excavation. And from Kolkata, I am traveling to Balirajgarh on and often and giving guidance to my team that how and moreover what at accurate place we should do the digging so that we can get some findings. I will take you later on that. First part, I will just try to make you understand that what is the area of Mithila. Most of you must be knowing about it, and which is the ancient text which speaks about Mithila. So, as most of you know, that Brihad Vishnu Puran is one of the very important texts of 1000 AD. It is an oral tradition that also you know that in that it is mentioned about Mithila, that Mithila Mahatmya, which is also very popular. But all of you must be knowing this also, that original text of Mithila Mahatmya is lost. What I want to tell you all, that because this is a Mithila platform, you must know that what kind of harm has been done to Mithila. By whom? By nobody else. It is we only who is responsible for that. Shankar Digvijay is lost. Where is the original text of Shankar Digvijay? We can speak thousand things, but we don't have the original text of Shankar Digvijay. If we have original, little part of it is available. Similarly, the text which speaks about Mithila, that is Mithila Mahatmya of Brihad Vishnu Puran, is lost. Mithila is known as the Tir Bhukti, land bordered by rivers. So it is known as Tir Bhukti. What rivers? Rivers are, 1 minute, sorry. Rivers are Ganga, Gandak and Kosi. So Ganga, Gandak and Kosi surrounds Mithila area, and this is the area demarcated for Mithila, that is known as Tir Bhukti. Another thing which I want to mention you, that Mithila Mahatmya, as you all know, that it is a divine dialogue between the Vedic sage Parashar, acting as a guru, and his disciple Maitreya. It is nowhere written in inscriptions. There is no archaeological evidence so that we can authenticate that, oh, this is sure, this is perfect, that this was the Mithila. But it is a divine dialogue, but we mention it. Next, we will come to the cultural significance of Mithila. What was the cultural significance of Mithila? Mithila was a vital center of philosophy. As we know very well, Raja Janak, 8th-7th century BC, that was the Upanishad age. Brahmavarta, Yajnavalkya, Janak Samvad in Brihadanyak Upanishad, 3rd and 4th chapter, it discusses about Atman, Brahman and liberation. The next philosopher was Sirad Vajra Janaka, Ramayana era, reference in Valmiki Ramayana, Balkand, we are getting about it. Nimi is another very important source for the Mithila. He was the founder of Videha dynasty, which we get the reference in Bhagavad Puran and Vishnu Puran. Dharmadhwaja Janaka, Mahabharat Shanti Parv also speaks about Mithila in Dharmadhwaja Janaka. So this is a brief, just introductory about the Mithila's philosophical era. And in Vedic literature also we are getting references, that is Shatpatha Brahman speaks about Videha kingdom, Upanishad speaks about philosophical traditions. The epics, the Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana says that it was Sita's homeland. Mahabharata gives the reference of Videha. Then another very important thing which we are getting, on that basis, archaeologists are trying to work that what was the earliest period of Sanatan Dharma in Mithila area and outside Mithila area also. Because we are getting much references in Buddhist and Jain texts also about Mithila. I hope you all must be also knowing about that. Buddhist Jataka stories in Mahajanaka Jataka, reference of Mithila has come. Buddhist, just think about the Buddhist time which we have fixed, archaeologists have fixed. And in that, the Buddhist Jataka stories, it speaks about Mithila. Then in Jain texts, also we are getting some references. In Mallinath, the female Tirthankar, she refers about Mithila. We have reference in Purans and classical works also about Mithila. Vishnu Puran, Vayu Puran, Mithila Mahatmya, which we discussed just now, Brihad Vishnu Puran, Varna Ratnakar of 14th century, Jyotireshwar, that also speaks about Mithila, and works of Vidyapati, that is of the later stage. This is all references which we are getting about Mithila. So now come to the archaeological topic that is very important, which I will be discussing with you. That is, most of the important things will be 1 minute, some calls are coming. Most of the important discussions which I will do here with the background of archaeology. So beforehand, as an archaeologist, worked in Archaeological Survey of India and other places, still I am working. So I find that archaeology of Mithila has been neglected badly. What we can say, a butcher who kills the animal, likewise, the Mithila culture and art has been butchered. Mithila culture and art has not been explored very well. And that is the reason that after our independence, till this date, we don't know where was the capital of Mithila. What was the capital of Mithila? Archaeologists are confused. I was in Balirajgarh in recent excavations. I used to keep my hands on head. How we will trace out? What was the earliest phase of Mithila? And as I told you, archaeology is a pure science. You cannot concoct. You cannot go with the hypothetical analysis that this was the Vide. So the first, what I would have discussed here in detail if I would have spoken about archaeology of Mithila was Balirajgarh. I will come on the details of Balirajgarh after some time. We have got this site. This site has not given us any clue archaeologically till this date that what was the earliest era of Balirajgarh. Archaeologists are not able to reach in excavation, scientific excavation, up to the bedrock level, where the virgin soil starts. The excavations at this place was started in 1961. Grierson, the great bureaucrat, in 1884, has discovered this site. And he also mentions that we may get something about pre-Christian era at this site. But we only listen to it. We don't have any evidence. On that basis, we can say that it was a pre-Christian era site. Pre-Christian era site, if we prove it, then we are very sure that we have come very close to the capital of Mithila. So I will discuss with you that what are the problems which are facing in that site. Then second, what I would like to discuss with you is the Chankigarh or Jankigarh. I think all of you know about this site also. This is also a very important site in West Champaran. A British archaeologist, Henley, discovered it in 1864, and this site was declared as a site which takes us back to black and red ware. I hope black and red ware culture, some little brief I would like to give you is what? That is a culture, black and red ware culture originates from the Neolithic period. Neolithic period, you understand? When the mankind started agriculture. The cells were built, unifacial and bifacial cells, which we are getting mostly in northeastern region, southern India. But we have some traces about this black and red ware in Mithila area also. And we have not done a good work. We have not come to any conclusion that this was the area where black and red ware culture existed. So, what is the period of black and red ware culture? That goes to circa 3rd millennium BC, and it continues through Bronze Age. That is Copper, Bronze Age, Iron Age, and early historic period. So this is called a Neolithic and Chalcolithic period. Neolithic and Chalcolithic period comes to 2500 BC to 100 BC. I hope you understand. It is very clear to you. So similar culture we are getting in Rajasthan. Archaeologists excavated and they got Ahar. Ahar culture is a very popular culture. That is black and red ware culture. And then in Malwa, we are getting Kaitha. Kaitha is contemporary to black and red ware culture. And the dating archaeologists have given it as per C14 as well as their experiences that goes to 1700 BC to 1000 BC. Is it clear? So I will like to tell you here that in some of the reports, when I was working on Chankigarh, I searched that some British scholars have mentioned that this site goes back to pre-Christian era. The pottery of pre-Christian era, which we are finding in Balirajgarh. But here, some British archaeologists have got few sherds of black and red ware that goes beyond 1000 BC. So here I finished this Chankigarh. Then we have got Singhoragarh. Singhoragarh is in Purnia. That is another very important place of Mithila. And at Singhoragarh also we could not get anything like black and red ware, so that we cannot define it as a pre-Christian era pottery. We cannot take it back to the Vidya kingdom. And the reason behind it is that Singhoragarh is not done, and we have not completed the excavation at Singhoragarh. The Singhoragarh, the earliest which we have found is the NBP pottery. NBP pottery, I think all of you know, northern black polished ware, that is of the Mauryan period. So Singhoragarh, we have got the pottery, we have got the terracotta objects up to Mauryan and little bit bricks of pre-Mauryan. But here also excavation has not been completed. Nobody can say that I have finalized, any archaeologist, that I have finalized and completed this excavation. But there we are getting NBPW up to Pala period, that is 7th century AD. At Janakpur Dham. Janakpur Dham also I include it in Mithila area. It is well known. That is in Nepal, and that was the epic capital. Here also excavation has been done, and few archaeologists have reported very stray pottery of black and red ware. But we are getting lot of Mauryan pottery and bit of pre-Mauryan, and that continues up to Pal period. Then Simorangarh, Bara in Nepal, that is another very important place. Here also we have got black and red ware pottery. So what I want to tell you by telling this, that in Mithila area, we are getting many evidences of pre-Christian era that takes back to 1000 BC. 1000 BC, yani Vedic age, we are getting the evidences of that. Rajnagar also, we have got a mound known as Rajnagar Gad. That is in Madhubani Rajnagar, as all you know. There only we got up to Mauryan period. Then Pandavgarh in Madhubani, proper Madhubani, there is a Pandavgarh. It has got a one circular mound, and that mound is, all these places has not been excavated. Only stray explorations have been done, and with that exploration, the pottery is a very important thing for archaeologists. You know, with the pottery with naked eye, if we see any kind of pottery, any archaeologist will say, oh, this pottery is of this period. that is of Mauryan period, that is of Kushan period, that is of Gupta period. So every period has got different kind of pottery. And if those pottery, if we take it for C14 dating or any TL dating, the date and era will be correct by an archaeologist. But the computer or the that instrumental, there will be defect. But archaeologist naked eye observation will be correct. Then we have got one another very important place, that is in Benipatti Garh. That is also in Madhubani. Here also we have got a fortified mound, and in that fortified mound also we are getting pottery up to Mauryan period. It is also never excavated by any archaeologist. Then Vaishali, all of you know, Vaishali is one of the Buddhist center and it is a Jain circuit. But Vaishali, we have evidences of black and red ware. In 1955, Vijaykant Mishra excavated this site, and he has published the report also of Vaishali, where he mentions about it in detail that we have got enough of black and red ware pottery, and he takes back this site to pre-Mauryan, earlier than that, and that is black and red ware pottery to 1000 BC. Kesaria also, we have some stray black and red ware pottery. Why I'm trying to tell you more about black and red ware, because we all archaeologists are confused nowadays that if at the distance of 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, we are getting evidences of pre-Christian era, why we are not getting at the particular place and site. So I will come to that conclusion later on. As an archaeologist, I have written my so many articles which is published in Indian and international magazines, where I have boldly said that Mithila is a virgin area for the archaeologists. No work has been done by any archaeologist. Completely. Mithila needs to be explored and excavated deeply. Otherwise, that day is not very far from this stage. I am telling you that Mithila's many archaeological evidences will be finished. And after 200 years, we will quarrel. Shankaracharya existed or Shankaracharya not existed. Mandan Mishra came or Mandan Mishra had Shastra, because we all will be confused. So what is very important, that this stage should made a very strong, a sort of stage where we can ask the government, we can ask the private archaeologists also to go for archaeological excavation and explorations in this area in a deep sense. Now let us confine it. I think I will take a lot of time if I go on speaking on these things. There are a lot of subjects which will be interesting to me as well as to you also. I come to Raja Balirajgarh, from where I have returned just 2 days back. When I was coming back, my all archaeological friends were telling me, sir, you be here. So you be here. I said, no, I'll come back after some time. You go on. I have directed them. The director of excavation is Dr. Hari Om Sharan, who is the in charge of Patna zone of archaeology. And I thank Mr. Sanjay Kumar Jha, the member of parliament, happens to be a very good friend of mine also, who was very much convinced. And he said that we should do excavation at Balirajgarh. He is the chairman of the Cultural Committee of Government of India. And as a chairman, he took a lot of initiative. And suddenly this orders were issued by Government of India to take up a excavation at Balirajgarh. As I told you earlier, that first it was Balirajgarh is in district Madhubani, Bihar. All of you know that. First, it was recognized as an ancient fort in 1884 by Sir George Grierson, who was the SDO of Madhubani that time. And he has mentioned in his report, his report is itself a very branded report, which is a very interesting report, which I feel he was not an archaeologist, but the report is so nice. I read 7 times, 8 times, and I could find out that at that time, British administrators were so well informed about archaeology and history. He has not mentioned about black and red ware here. He has not mentioned. But he mentions that, in my view, this place seems to be of the pre-Christian era. And he says that it was the administrative hub, a potential capital of the Videha kingdom. Mark this, that in 1884, some British administrator and a non-archaeologist is saying this thing. He believed that it was a major administrative hub and potential capital of Videha kingdom. So come. Now, what happens? In 1962-63, Government of India, Archaeological Survey of India, on the basis of report of Sir George Grierson, took the chance to excavate this site. This site is spread in 122 acres. That was demarcated when I was the head of Patna zone about 15-20 years back. I said, let us fence that area, because many of the area was being encroached by the local villagers. So it took me a lot of efforts to enclose that area, and the area which I got it notified from the revenue authorities was 122 acres. And here in 1962-63 excavation was done. 1972-73 excavation was again done by Archaeological Survey of India. In these two excavations, I will just tell you what was the findings. You know very well, I think some of you must have gone to the archaeological site where we do a very scientific archaeological excavations. We have challenged the world that come and challenge us if our excavation is wrong or right. So French archaeologists, German archaeologists, British archaeologists, they come to learn from us. What is this archaeological excavation? So here we started the digging in 62, 63 and 72, 73. The digging was started from the top layer, as it is done usually. So top layer, when we were cleaning the top layer and we were coming to period 4, which archaeologists have mentioned, that was a period which the antiquity which we found in period 1, period 4 was of the Pala period. We got Pala period antiquities, and that Pala period antiquities goes to 8th to 12th century AD. Then in that we had 2 layers in Pala period. What is this layers? Layers is the color of the soil. You understand? The archaeologists with naked eye, what is their duty? To find out that what are the changes in the layers, soils. Soil are our big, big support, big clue to give us this idea that this period ended at this period. So in that Pala period also there was period 4A, period 4B. So period 4A was of the 10th to 12th century, and period 4B was from 8th to 10th century. And the soil was changed, brownish soil changed into little reddish soil. And I found that some brick work was done on that soil. So in section, the section of the trench, in that we could easily identify that this was the changes of the culture. Then we come to period 3 of the same. I am talking of the Balirajgarh excavation. Period 3. Period 3 was another very important, but it was not so interesting for the archaeologist. Archaeologists had gone to the site with the notion that some archaeologists, very known archaeologists like D.K. Chakravarti from Cambridge, who went to Balirajgarh, and he has mentioned that he found some traces of black and red ware pottery. Then Professor Mr. B.K. Thapad, who was the Director General of Archaeology, he also mentions about Balirajgarh, that Balirajgarh had got the evidences of Vedic culture. So archaeologists, when they went in 61, 62, generally what happens when we write the report of excavations, I have written more than 8 report of excavations. So in that report of the excavation, we have got some leisure writings. Leisure writings, you understand what is that? You have to write what is your view about this excavation, why you could not reach up to the mark, why you could not complete it, what was the reasons. So in that, Professor D.K. Bhattacharya, Cambridge University man, now he's 92 years old, he lives in Calcutta only. He mentioned me that when he went for the exploration visit, he got 2 shirts of black and red wear. Tell me, how can any archaeologist will confirm that with 2 shirts? Anybody will say कि बाबा ये शर्ट इन्होंने उठा के घर से ले आए होंगे और रख दिए होंगे. That must have been put there. So nobody came to the conclusion. Likewise, only Dr. B.K. Thapar, who was the Director General of Archaeology and very eminent archaeologist, not only of country but world. He had done so many Kalibanga excavations. I was a young chap of 22 years. Then I learned from him. He used to slap us. Ye karo, ye karo. That man had also gone to Balirajgarh, and he also mentioned that this Balirajgarh site, in my view, is of the pre-Vedic age, is of the pre-Christian era. So our archaeologists, whosoever goes there, even today in the excavation, we are working to see, we are trying to see whether we get something of the pre-Christian era. We cannot say like this, कि oh, this was a place, यहाँ पर ये आए थे, वो आए थे. Hypothetical answers cannot be given, a question could not be given. As in the first line of my lecture, I said, archaeology is a pure science. It is not that 2 plus 2 will be 5, 2 plus 2 will be 1, 2 plus 2 will be 4. Because we have to prove it to the world. It is not the excavation that is confined in the excavation trenches only. It will go out. After I come back, I have written a report. If you would all like, I will send Professor Rai my report. You just see it, how deeply we have gone inside. Anyway, so we come to now period 2. Period 2 was an important finding for archaeologists. Period 2, that time in his miscellaneous report, the excavator writes that period 2 was a thrilling excavation for me. Why? Period 3 soil is totally changing. Period 2 soils give some references about Buddhist. It gives some terracotta of the Buddhist period. It gives some informations about Sanatan Dharma also, he writes. He says that this, I have opened only one trench of 4 by 4 and it's a large area, 122 acres. So I am sure now I am reaching to my goal. He mentions in his miscellaneous report. So there also we got the pottery of Shunga period and Kushan period, pottery and antiquity. It is all I'm talking of Raja Balirajgarh. So now come to period 1. Period 1 was another very exciting findings for the archaeologists. They were so happy to find their NBPW, Northern Black Polished Ware. I asked Professor Rai if you can give me chance so that I can show it on slide. He said, next time we will see that, I will show you that. But this time it was not possible. I would have shown you the NBP pottery, original NBP pottery. And in NBP pottery, Northern Block Polished Ware pottery is established by archaeologists after so many excavations that it is of 300 BC to 700, circa 700 to 300 BC. It is established. Mauryan, there is no confusion all over the world. We are getting same pottery in Afghanistan. We are getting same pottery in Sri Lanka. We are getting same pottery in Cambodia. So this is all over the world. It is established. So period 1, when archaeologists reached to that place, they were facing great difficulties in excavation. Why? What was the reason? The reason behind that was that that particular place is not so safe to reach up to the bedrock. The reason of not reaching up to the bedrock is that it has got a water logging from the ground level. This kind of difficulties archaeologists face out of 1 lakh sites in 1 or 2 sites. वो हम कहते नहीं है कि ये कैंसर ऐसा हो गया है जो एक आदमी को होता है करोड़ों में. So this was that cancerous type of difficulty for the archaeologists, that soon after Mauryan, when they are coming down, sudden there within that trench, water logging comes. So up to 72, 73, archaeologists क्या करते थे कि they used to see कि water आ गया, अब खुदाई नहीं होगा, छोड़ देते थे, चले आते थे. When I was in charge of Patna zone, then also I tried कि मैं excavation report लिखूं, बनाऊं, कुछ करूं, but I was not able to do excavation there. I had many other works to do, so I could not go behind. This time, when our very popular member of parliament, Sanjay Jaji, and me had a long talks, and I convinced him that this is the reason that why we want the excavations again, because after my superannuation, I have now a lot of things to speak. I could speak something very freely. When I was in job, I was not so free. And he took the interest. And then he said, let us go for the excavation. Then after 20 days of opening, again, when Government of India asked me to go to the site, I went to the site, and again, same problem had come. I could have shown you the photographs, what is the problem. You could have seen it very easily, but we don't have here the system. So I would tell you that problem of severe groundwater seepage beyond 9 feet depth is there in all trenches. We opened 6 trenches, 4 by 4, 4 by 4, 4 by 4. Up to Mauryan, that is period 1. The color which I told you is brownish and little soily color. That is Mauryan. Brownish and soily color, you find it not only at Balirajgarh, you will find this texture of trench in almost every Mauryan sites, either in North India, in South India, or out of country also. So here, where we were stopped, we had multiple trenches severely waterlogged. My junior archaeologists were tight-lipped, and he said, sir, you have got a long experience, give us some clue. I said, Baba, I have no clue at the moment. Then I started going back to the history. I said, there must be some site in world where this waterlogging problem would have come. So I came to Darbhanga. I met the commissioner of Darbhanga, and I told him that this is the problem which we are facing. And he was so nice person. He said, sir, you do like this. I did go to my library, and we have got some archival library. In that library, whatever you want to see, you go and see it. I'll give you full chance, whatever you want to see. There also I could not get some clue. Then I came to Kolkata. Kolkata, I went to National Library. The Director General National Library, Professor Singh, was a very good friend of mine. He gave me some old books of the time of Sir John Marshall. You know, all of you know Sir John Marshall, very eminent archaeologist of the world. So in that report, I found that at Arikamedu is the one site in Pondicherry. In that site, similar problem had come in 1946. Then there is a Kaladi. Kaladi, you must be reading in newspapers, all controversies are coming at Kaladi. The recent archaeologist who had worked under me for several years, he is now the director of Kaladi excavation. He had also faced this waterlogging problem. Then at Dwarka in Gujarat, my colleague Alok Tripathi was excavating the underwater archaeologist. He had also faced this problem. Lakhapar, there is one site in Lakhapar in Gujarat. There also same problem had come. Pumpuhar in Tamil Nadu, there also same waterlogging problem had come. All of them, what they did when they had this problem, they all adopted engineering-led solutions to address this water seepage and flooding. But beyond that, John Marshall had given a very good solution of this waterlogging. Wheeler has introduced one method, because waterlogging problems comes out of 1, 2, 3 sites when we go for lakhs and lakhs excavations. But Wheeler had given one solution that is known as box grid system. I hope you will understand box grid system. This box grid system is controlled square grids. You understand? Controlled square grids with retained earth box. In the trenches, when we make it, we make a box where we put the layering, where we put the thread, where we do the pegging for our report writing. You understand? So he mentioned that we have to keep the box, B-A-U-L-K, box, that pathway, and there we have to put a square grid. Square grid. This square grid will give you chance to remove the water at that small place. And then you go for the excavation of the layers and you see what are the changes in the layers. And then you can even see the antiquities, the potteries, the terracotta objects. Main thing we can search the potteries, whether we are getting black and red ware pottery or not. So this method I have learned it recently, and I sent my report to the Director General of Archaeology, Dr. Rawat, who happens to be my batchmate and very close friend. And he was very happy. He said, I also knew about this Wheeler box grid system. So now we are training some of the archaeologists from Delhi and Patna and other Kolkata, and they will be going there and will try to excavate with this method. That we, by this, I hope that combine this wet sieving and carefully regulated trench exposures, we will be able to do a systematic stratigraphic excavation with technical groundwater management. Then there were some lapses which I don't want to discuss with you here. This is not the proper stage. So now what is very important to note here, that the proper systematic excavation, not that I will say that we are not serious about it, but due to paucity of staff, due to paucity of experts, we have neglected Mithila. Nobody wants to go to Mithila. There are very few officers in Archaeological Survey of India. They come, they sit at Nalanda, they sit at Bodh Gaya, they go to some important sites like Vaishali, they go to Kumrahar, and they don't go to Mithila. There are so many head of the organization who had come at Patna zone, they had not visited Balirajgarh even. For them, that is not the priority. So what is very important here, I think I will take a lot of time, but I will short it. Professor Rai, please excuse me, give me 5 more minutes. So what is very important to know here, that Mithila is among the richest yet most underexplored archaeological regions in India. This I can give a graph. I have requested the government to open one Mithila circle at Darbhanga. I hope it is on the way. If Mithila circle is open, from Patna it should be divided, and half of the Mithila region should be given to that circle to explore and save the Mithila. This is my 125 pages English report which is gone to the minister. Maybe let us see. I am requesting all other peoples also to help me. And if one Mithila circle is open in Darbhanga or any other places, Mithila's archaeology will be more known to the people. Balirajgarh may be the ancient capital of Videha kingdom, but excavation to bedrock is very essential. My dear friends, pray to God that we should reach up to bedrock and we should get something very important. The 2026, this year's inspection report given by me, recommends that the systematic sieving and flotation technique should be adopted, grid method should be adopted to carry on further excavation to find out our goal. Then I would request the government also that sites like Chankigarh, Shinghorgarh, Simrongarh demand coordinated large-scale excavations. It is left half-hearted. It requires months and together. Then only we will conclude what was Mithila. Definitely we will get the evidences of Videha. Most sites remain unprotected. Mithila's most sites are unprotected. The agriculture is, the Kisan, they plow our sites, mounds, they damage. And one day after 5 years, 10 years, when you will go, it will be a plain land. So by that, so many our sites have been spoiled. Systematic excavation to virgin soil level could yield evidences of exceptional historical significance. I think I should not go beyond this. Thank you very much for listening me. I don't know it was boring or whatever it is, but whatever is was in my mind, I thought let me share with you scholars. You are all Mithil's. Mithil's IQ is more than anyone in India. Our cranial capacity is 1550 cc. About L.K. Jha, John F. Kennedy has written in his reports. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.